Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're at. Welcome to LA2LA episode 4. I'm throwing up the foes because today is McKinley Senior High School homecoming and it's episode 4, Southside Baton Rouge. Okay? Shout out to McKinley, shout out to Baton Rouge. I am so excited about episode 4. I have such a wonderful guest, a brilliant, talented, smart actress.
Gail Bean in the building.
When you said on your story one day, Big Bean, I'm like, Big Bean, I like
the biggest.
Look, the biggest bean.
The biggest.
I am so excited, you guys, about this episode, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So, let's get right into it. So just tell us, like, where did you grow up? What made you want to pursue acting? And did you always know, oh, this is what I'm going to do?
Okay, where did I grow up? Because I've been seeing a lot of people, you know, oh, she from St. Louis or she from here. I was born, I want to set the record straight here now. Born in St. Louis, Missouri. I might have left for like 3 months.
Oh, well, that don't count.
Moved to Phoenix, Arizona. Lived there until I was 3 years old. While I was 3, we moved to Stone Mountain, Georgia, Main Street, and we still own that house. That's where I'm from.
Okay.
I'm from Stone Mountain.
Yeah.
It's not Atlanta. It is Stone Mountain, Georgia. It is the east side. That's where I'm from. That's where I claim. That's my city.
I like what you said it's not Atlanta because I have 2 points to make. People from Atlanta, they be quick to say, oh no, that's not Atlanta. That's not Atlanta. That's not Atlanta.
But before the song even came out, like, nobody that's not from Atlanta claims that.
Right.
No, we don't do that in the city.
Right.
I don't know what state you from, baby girl, but if you're making a song about something that's not Atlanta. And the whole metro Atlanta, all the surrounding cities of Atlanta make up Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's why it is where it is, because
Right.
people look out for one another, you know. But
I'm from, y'all know I'm from Baton Rouge, and when I say I'm from Louisiana,
Baton Rouge.
everybody like, you from New Orleans. No, I'm from Baton Rouge, I'm not from New Orleans. And they be like, say baby.
you got some Creole in your family?
Let me tell you.
'Cause
My
the
last
way
name
you-
Arnaud.
The way Baton Rouge. I'm over Baton Rouge. Like,
Baton Rouge.
okay.
You know, it's in me, it's not on me, you know.
Hello.
But people always like, you from New Orleans. Like, it's 2 different things. So I get it. Like, I'm from here, I'm not from there,
Yes.
and it's 2 totally different worlds.
Totally.
So did you always know you wanted to act?
No.
What did you want to do at first?
I thought I was gonna be the next female Johnny Cochran.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I already knew it. I love it. I love law. I love debating. I love research. I love reading. So I love facts.
Mhm.
Like everybody know, I love facts. Yes, I am emotional, but I'm a true Sagittarius. So that was more so going to come easy to me. I felt like, you know, no discredit for lawyers because law is hard as any career, but I felt like with acting and the entertainment industry, it's favored. You gotta have talent, but the only way you gonna win is favor.
Right.
Like, there's no way to explain people succeeding other than, oh, it was God.
Yeah.
It's people out here laying on their back and having cancer couches and doing all type of dirty, nasty things to succeed, and it's not working.
Right.
Now, you do have some who they might have done that, but that ain't what got them the job. Really, what got them to the place that they're in is the favor.
Right. I agree because since I've moved here and I would consider myself not a booked actor, but a working actor because I'm auditioning. I would say it's not even about you. It's about the role. So until that role is created for you, or it's like, okay, this is the one, and she has the look, she has the vibe, everything is like, you gotta wait for that, which is favor because you gotta know and believe and trust, okay, it's coming.
No, you said, I ran into an actor the other day, and he used to play in the NFL for a long time. He's now an actor, and he came and he gave me my flowers.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, thank you. And he said, you know, he was on a project. His name is Stevie Baggs. He has a project out right now called Finding Happy. And he was just telling me about his journey, and he said, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in God. I said, oh, well, it's not for everybody. He said, no. I know God.
Mm-hmm.
I know God. And it's a big difference.
Yeah, I never heard that.
I never heard it. And I was like,
never heard that.
I said, he right.
I agree. Yeah.
He right. He said he got let go from one project, but immediately after that happened, Find the Happy came. Mm-hmm. So it's not being willing to let go of something and hold it, and just knowing that God is for us.
Right. That's the biggest thing, because I was working at a production company, and then I decided to quit. Mm-hmm. And I was like, God, like you know, I feel like you're moving me to this. So, and I always say I could have not made that decision if my relationship with God wasn't what it is. Yeah, because you know, as an actor and as an actress, it's like
it's a lot of things that's gonna test your faith.
Let me tell you,
test your
faith.
Yeah,
daily. And it's like, I'm like, God, let me tell you, here I go again.
Here I go.
Look, I'm like, it's me again, Lord. But I need you for real. So like, I definitely feel like knowing God, like, ooh, I need to use that.
And understanding and God knowing you.
Yeah.
Because when I decided to pursue acting, and seriously, I said, this is something where I know I'm gonna do the research, I know I'm gonna take the classes, I know I'm gonna show up, read the material, do everything I need to do to embody a character and execute what the storyline. But will I have the favor to be able to walk into rooms and people are rooting for me?
Yeah.
Will I have the favor to be able to embody the same identity that the writer saw? Will I be able to have the discipline when my career grows and people and events and all other things are pulling me left and right for fame, but not necessarily for work?
Right.
Will I be able to count on God to give me the discernment of what's for me and what's not for me, to be able to decipher which roles will grow me and which roles will stifle me? And I said, you know what? Like I said, true Sagittarius form. I said, God, you say you love me. You say you know my heart. Prove it. Right. So I'm gonna do acting. So prove it.
My auntie once told me, if you don't have no relationship with God, if you don't question Him, if you don't ask Him to show me, you know, He'll show you too. You know, so let me tell you, I definitely understand that, and it is a favorite career, but they always say it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's so rewarding, and when you love it, like I know how you love it, how I love it. It's like I can't see myself doing anything else now. Like, you know, like then you can still be the lawyer. You can still be the lawyer. Still be the lawyer.
Like you could do it. There's people who are Arnold Schwarzenegger was a whole politician. Right. Like you could still do other things in life. There are people who are activists, and I mean active activists. They're not just putting their money into activism, they're on the ground. Yeah. Kendrick Sampson is everywhere. Everywhere. But you know what? He embodies a lot of the actors and actresses whose career I admired and wanted to emulate. Ruby Dee, you know, Ozzy, like they were activists. Yeah. They were activists as well, and they used their art, like Muhammad Ali, they used their art to be a platform to push forward what they believed in their fight. Right.
Which is ultimately like what it's all for and what it's all about. Once you get that platform, like what are you gonna do with it? Exactly. You know? So speaking of people like Ruby Dee, whose career would you say you kind of like followed and been like, or, like sparked something in you? Like, oh wow.
Everybody knows my favorite is Taraji.
That's my girl right there. That's top two, and she ain't number two.
Hello, baby.
Let me tell you, Taraji all day.
Hands down, Taraji. Like followed her career. I think she is brilliant, not just in her art, but in her life, in her blackness, in her womanness, in her femininity. Love what she stands for, and she's a mother. Another person's career whom I follow, Regina King. Yeah. The one, the only. Regina King. Someone who is more along my peers, I would say Shantae Adams. Love her career, love her soul. Yeah. Moses, as far as my peers, Moses Ingram, these are people. Danielle Detweiler is my favorite actress of our generation.
Uh-huh.
She played Cuffy on The Harder They Fall,
Yeah.
the character that was kind of like the little boy. She plays, when it comes out in October, she plays Mamie Till.
Uh-huh.
She plays
yeah.
Mama Till. Just a lot of work. We worked together in Atlanta. She used to be in P-Valley. She was on, I want to say, The Have and Have Not, some television show. She's great. So there are a lot of actresses whose career, actors, period. I love Christian Bale.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love Cillian Murphy. Jarrell Jerome, I think, is amazing. I love what he's doing. I love his work in When They See Us. There's another guy who I don't know his name. He worked in this movie called Waves.
I just saw a clip on Waves on TikTok.
So good. I don't know his name, but he's so good. He was also in The Photograph with Lakeith Stanfield. The younger dude that worked in the office with him. But his work, I feel like he's right there.
Yeah.
Like he's right there to where he probably feels like he's doing it and hasn't gotten recognition.
Mm-hmm.
But we see you, brother.
Right.
We see you. He's
right. We see you.
He awake. He's impartial.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. For me, I was saying this to a fellow actor who is in the same class as me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I feel like your generation, like we're all around the same age, but I feel like your generation, like y'all are at where we are at right now. Like y'all are getting your bookings, and I feel like okay, they're getting booked, they're in stuff. It's like a whole group, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, and then it's like us coming up in it, and I'm like, oh, they were just like where we were.
They were just here.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, they all know each other. Like how do all these people know each other? Oh, because they all did this. What we're doing, studying, going to these different classes, going to these different workshops, developing our craft together, and that really brings about your whole community. And last week when I did an episode with my friend Yasmine, we talked about having that community here because we're not from here.
Yeah.
So like building that here is extremely important because
It's essential.
when I first moved here, I was going home like once a month.
Oh, girl, you had money.
Flights was way cheaper.
Because
Flights
I
way
was
cheaper.
not able to go home. I moved here August 2013, and let me tell you, I was broke, busted, and disgusted in my house by myself, sad. Looking at people have fun on social media, like, dang, I miss home.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I can't wait. Oh, I missed that too. I remember a song that I could relate to a lot from being out here was Harley Home, but always repping that Drake.
Yeah. I definitely agree. So when did you have your first moment where you was like, damn, I'm famous, like people know me, like
So technically, there's been 2 moments.
mm-hmm.
I'll tell you the most recent moment.
Okay.
Shirley Ralph won the Emmy,
Mm-hmm.
and I've known her, watched her, grew up watching her. I'm friends with her son Etienne, so I've seen, and she's a Delta, she's my sorrow, so huge fan. But like, I don't just follow anybody on social media because if I don't know you, like I don't want to be so I follow some people, of course, whose content that I like want to see on a regular, and I went to her page and she was following me. This is like post Emmy.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, this is recent. This is very
look,
recent.
I was by myself and I wanted to be like, do y'all see this? Do y'all see this? Shirley Ralph is following me. Emmy Award winning. Put the Emmy in front of it.
Right. The original Dream Girl.
Yes, the original, the Dream Girl.
It's following me.
It's following Emmy Award winning. Moesha Mama
D.
is following me. So it was just, I was like, oh girl, you might be out here doing something. Like, hey man, I wanted somebody to be there with me to have that moment.
Yeah.
But I think I was like, no girl, you need this by yourself. Because just don't embarrass nobody else by having anybody with you in this moment. But that was a moment for me that I felt like, oh, you kind of got the attention of important people.
Yeah.
Like, because to me, it's never about how many followers you have. It's about the quality of the followers you got.
Mm-hmm.
And not even followers, really, it's about the quality of supporters you have. Because some people following you ain't supporting.
No, they're just there.
They just there. And I don't need a crowd.
Right.
I don't need a crowd to watch me fail. I don't need a crowd to watch me succeed. I need people to support me for the times that I feel like I'm not going to succeed.
Yeah.
So from that, I was like, oh, and I seen her because we did a thing with a group of some sorors for Arnaud right before the Oscars, the night before. And she was there. It was a few of us. Brandy was there. Some great people. But like, we didn't speak. We didn't even hold a conversation really. So I just thought it was so, I'm like, when I seen it, I was like, when did this happen? How did I miss this moment? This was
it probably happened that night.
Like,
but look, someone told me, like, people be watching.
Yeah.
They watching you. You know what I'm saying? Even when you don't think someone is watching, they're always watching. So she probably do that same night. Like,
I don't know. But that was definitely my most recent moment where I was like, okay, girl, you made it.
Big Bean.
The biggest. The biggest. So that's all. I'm gonna speak on that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna say my other one for later. But
okay. So, let's talk about Snowfall.
okay. R.I.P. Johnson.
Yeah. Snowfall. Let me tell you, Wanda. That's my mom's favorite character.
Wanda. My best friend sent me that Donda thing that Kanye did. And somebody had remixed it and it was saying Wanda. Yeah. I was like, this is weird, y'all, because this is about a lady.
Yeah.
God rest her soul, who is dead. Like, this is creeping me out of bed. But that was Wanda. People love Wanda.
Yeah. What was your favorite scene, either that didn't include you or that you actually did?
Okay, I'll give you my favorite scene that did not include me. Franklin Saint, where Damson was in that room with talking to himself. He was like, body.
Oh my God.
Let me say, that's some of the best acting I've seen in a long time.
Yes, I tweeted that. I was like, man, this man up in here acting for real, like
Hands down the best.
Yeah.
Like, and people pat me on the back, but I was like, that's the best scene of the whole series of any. That's the best acting, best scene of any character, any person on that show in all 6 seasons.
that was some good acting.
That was some great acting, and I say 6 because we're about to have a 6th round season, and I still don't feel like any scene
Go get
from this
that,
this future season is gonna top that.
So that whole episode, even when Lou and Uncle Jerome was talking, they were like speaking to each other at the same time. I was like, oh, this is some good shit right here.
Yeah, that was great.
This is good
I
right
said,
here.
now that's how you intertwine and use, because, you know, a lot of times with the overlapping and the speaking into those things, you don't really see that happening in
I've
black
never
films
seen
or
it.
black projects. And it's not a thing that belongs to a non-black community.
Right.
It's just an artistic way, which was used before with blacks, but you don't see it now. There's so many things that are ancient that originated within the black community, but have been used by other cultures and other ethnicities, and we get so far away from it that we don't even know it's ours.
Yeah, and it becomes something that they think is theirs.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
And then my favorite scene of me was the scene with Melody. Just that whole day.
That whole
with
day.
Wanda and Melody.
I'm like, come on, Melody. Wanda got you all up and down these people's streets. I'm like, she's
something else.
I'm like, Melody, she playing the hell out of you, man. Like, you don't see this. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, man, I hope Wanda don't relapse. This last season, I was like, do not let her relapse, y'all, because I don't want to see that. You know, I'm like, and when they had those at the wedding, I was like, please don't let Wanda get none. Please don't let her get none. I'm like, I don't want to relapse.
What I love about that is so
real.
So many people are like, why are they doing this? I'm like, they're keeping it real. They're keeping it real. They're keeping it raw. They're not allowing you to be watered down, which is what the government, a lot of reality nowadays is watered down.
Yeah.
From what they teach us in school to what they put on the media to the algorithm of social media.
Yep.
So they were like, nah, we're gonna keep it real.
And that was very real, very raw. And it's very much needed because, I mean, this is what happened. Like, this is what happened to our girls. This is what happened to our dads. This is what happened to our, like,
Yes.
our uncles. Like, so, yeah, let us see it. And I feel like Wanda does have, like, a little comedic flow with her. So, I mean, that is, like, a little relief. But, like, being in a black family, I have dealt with people, who've been on drugs. And I feel like they always be so funny, though. Like, so I'm like, for Wanda to have that little I don't care comedic, like, well, I'm like, this is perfect,
Well, I felt she needed that because of black people. We have this, in order to make it through, this survival tactic of laughing at our pain.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to give that to her and have that air, because it's heavy.
Yeah.
It's a drama. It's an hour-long drama. Mm-hmm. We need that comedic relief. We need those moments where you root for her, and even in the pain, you laugh.
Yeah. And I think, and it's crazy because even when Wanda was doing stuff she didn't have no business doing, everybody was still rooting for her.
Yeah.
Because that's like your cousin. Like,
yeah. She family.
Yeah, she family. Like, she's dead ass family, So I'm like, Leah, don't play with her this next season. Do not play with her in her feelings. Don't play with her in her feelings.
She like you.
Yeah. So, P-Valley, what was your same questions? Favorite scene, favorite moment, with or without you?
Oh, not gonna lie. Favorite scene without me, hands down, Big T's suicidal scene. That whole moment from them pulling up in the car, them sitting on the front of the car, rapping, reminiscing, to being in the car, up to the moment where Lil Murder was like, I need you.
Yeah, that was deep.
To it happening. Like, we didn't even need to see it actually happen,
right,
because they gave us so much build up to where it's like we came.
Right.
Like, sorry, speak erotically, whatever the word is. Erotically.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my favorite scene that I wasn't in. My favorite scene that I was in. Do you have to ask?
For me, it's the hotel scene.
It's the hotel scene.
Okay, yeah, that's
it's
the
hotel scene.
Like, definitely the
hands
hotel
down.
scene.
Jeez,
I'm like, man, if this is not real, I don't know what's real.
That was the hardest scene to shoot because that day they shot me. They got my coverage last, and we were in a room where they were using the smoke, creating smoke, and it was burning my eyes so bad. So we were in there after like an 18-hour day. It's already an 18-hour day. After an 18-hour day, they were trying to get my close up, and I just kept crying. My eyes just would not stop watering. They were just so irritated with the smoke, and it wasn't working. It was not working. They were like, okay, we're just gonna have to wrap.
Yeah.
And we tried to do it again the next day because it was just so difficult. And I was like, oh my goodness, we got all these coverages. Y'all knew my eyes was watering. We should got me first,
right?
That's selfish.
But I was like, that whole time, I was like, Roulette a little sneaky, so I'm like, is she gonna have this girl back or is she not gonna have this girl back? But I'm like, she better have this girl back. I'm like, oh yeah, she definitely. Roulette bought her money, like that she's bought her paper, and that's what my friend was like. My friend texted me was like, man, I love Roulette. Like, Roulette is that girl. Like, she is that girl. Like, she's just so raw. She's just so raw. She's so real. Like, yeah, like I'm doing what I gotta do. But I'm gonna say yes on people in the process. But I'm still make sure I come first.
I feel like too, Roulette is so smart and calculated.
Very
she played a
much.
long game.
Very
so at
much
the end
so.
of the day, Whisper is paper.
Mm-hmm.
So if I don't what I'm not gonna do is damage my goods right now, because then it's gonna mess me up in the long run.
Yeah.
And I don't need to let you think that I'm soft and you just gonna run up in here and not listen to me. So now I gotta prove both of y'all wrong. Now I gotta let you both know you my host.
Yeah, basically that's what
you.
she did.
Yeah,
and let it and I'm taking your call and let the streets know that. Like,
Yeah.
that just is what it is. Do you think you faced insecurities what insecurities you faced as an actress?
What insecurities I face as an actress? I feel like sometimes I have moments where I don't feel beautiful. I'm like, I have those moments. So image moments. I mean, I'm comfortable with my body and So that doing P-Valley and nudity and sexual stuff isn't an issue for me. I think sometimes it's here where I don't feel attractive. And there's moments where, but for days that I don't feel attractive, I feel like I got double the days where I feel like I'm motherfucking fine. Yeah. So I think that's normal. Like, there are gonna be people that say, "Oh, you're so beautiful," and we all got days when we feel ugly.
Yeah.
And that's just like, even the prettiest of the prettiest has days that we feel ugly. So that's definitely an insecurity. I have the insecurity sometimes of just not having as much notoriety as I feel like my art deserves. Mm-hmm. So I may not, even if I kill the audition or I can kill the character, they already have who they want in mind, and they may not even see my audition. Like, the casting directors and it might be like, "Oh, this is amazing, she was great," but then the producers may not even look at it because they already going with a name and they might have not seen my work. So not having the notoriety that I feel my art deserves to get me the exposure and to book some of the things that I know I can murder, that I know will do my career justice. That's sometimes an insecurity, but I have to remind myself as well, like, you know, everything goes exactly the way it's supposed to go. Like, that project just wasn't for me. Yeah. What are some other insecurities I had?
And that, what you just said goes with like winning the room. Yeah. You know, and not kill the audition, but win the room, because it just may not be for you. Like, that one just, and that's like most of the time, you know, like
everything I didn't get, I'm always like, well, I can see why the ancestor said no on that one. Yeah. And not that the project is bad, but it just wasn't for me. I might have not done it the justice that it should have, or the situation might not be conducive to the person that I am, or it just wouldn't have worked out for me. It wouldn't have been that good had I actually been that person. Right. So I get it. You know, everything happens for me, not against me and not to me. I feel like those are my only two insecurities. Yeah. I'll probably discover some more along the way, but I'll figure a way to come back.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the feeling pretty thing, and especially being a black woman. It's like we already, you know, have that on us anyways, and it's like going into this room, and especially if you're going into a room, and I know what's different now with self tapes. It's like, I remember I had like a callback recently, and it was like one of my first callbacks. And it was on FaceTime, and the casting director was kind of late. He answered it, and I'm like, he didn't even look up. Like, I was like, hi. Like, he didn't even look up. Yeah. Like, he was just looking. He did this, and he said, "You can start." I'm like, I did what I had to do, you know. And I was about. That's what I was gonna lead to. What do you think, like pre-COVID, post-COVID, when it comes to
pre-COVID all day? Pre-COVID, I need to be in the room with you. Now my self tapes are really good. Mm-hmm. But I'd much rather be in the room to get that feedback of, and to ask questions, two, to give you who I am, my personality, like when I walk in the room and I meet you, but to get the feedback. Yeah. Because if a casting director sees 50 people before they see you, 20, 15, however many, 5, and every person that walks in obviously interprets something the wrong way, that you can clearly see everyone is receiving it this way, then they could give you that note when you walk in. Right. Like, hey, she's not angry. Right. This is light.
But with self tapes, you just got whatever you're saying.
You just go. You just gotta commit, make a choice, and be double down on it. Yeah. So then they can say, give you feedback or give you notes. Another thing, I don't quite know if this is an insecurity, but when I was going in the room, any non-black casting director, there was never any pressure. It was a black casting director, I always felt the weight of the world, that I don't want to embarrass them and I got to do good, and this is for all the black people in the world. Like, I'm like, this is for black people everywhere. I got to make this black person happy and proud and make sure I do right. But when it was like white people or any other ethnicity, I was like, let me go ahead and kill this shit. Yeah. Like, I didn't feel any pressure. And I know for some people, it's the other way around. So I don't know what kind of insecurity that is, but
it's not to name that. It's something though. It's definitely something, because I get what you're saying. Like, definitely, especially like a black woman, I'm like,
I can't let them down. They give me an opportunity. Yeah.
They're giving me an opportunity. Yeah. You know, and they got in this role to be able to give me this opportunity. So I want to do what I can do. But you know, I definitely understand. It's like with somebody who's not black, it's like you gonna like me, you're not, you know. So I'm gonna do what I gotta do to win the room, and then, you know. But I feel like that's a pressure with not just casting directors, but just working with different people at different levels in entertainment that are black. It's like you always want to make them kind of proud in a certain way. Like I know working with around executive producers all the time, it's like, especially the black ones, it's like I'm on my P's and Q's. When this person walks in, I'm doing, you know, I'm working, I'm doing this. But like when a white person walks in, be like, okay.
But I feel like naturally, so with me, I came across all ethnicities of writers, producers, directors, and other actors who are affluent. And I always give 110%. I always feel confident about it. But so if a black person is coming up to me, I'm like, oh shit, I did what I did wrong. Like I be thinking in my mind, like, damn, what I did wrong. Like, oh man, like I feel like I might have disappointed them in some way. Like something I did wasn't enough.
But I do feel like what you're saying makes sense, because as a black, like I'm gonna say like an executive producer or somebody, when they approach you like that, it's like, because you only really get one chance. Being a black creator and then being at a certain level, you really only get one chance. Like they're not out here trying to give us 4, 5, 6 chances to mess up. You know what I'm saying? We only get one chance to mess up, and I think that's just our mindset. Growing up black, from even before entertainment, just being black, is like you can't mess up. You don't have time to mess up.
As black people, I was telling someone, I watched the Jamarcus Russell interview on Pivot, and I said, as black people, when we get the opportunity to, he was the highest paid draft pick. You get that opportunity, you can either open the door and leave it open behind you for others to walk through, or you screw up or embarrass us. I don't even want to say embarrass. You do some shit that causes the door to shut behind you. So after him, they put a cap. They put a cap on how much a player could go for in the first round. So now, you cause the door to shut behind you.
Yep.
So as a black person, I just never want to be that one to do that. You know, there's something in the industry, I think it happened with maybe one of the Wayans, where he was on 2 shows, New Girl, or was it New Girl? I can't remember the name. He was on some show, and then got another show, a pilot. Basically, what I did was Snowfall and P-Valley, except for I wasn't a series regular on both. So now, if you have a show and you're series regular, you can't do a pilot as well. You can't go out for pilot season. There's so much stuff, like there's so many stipulations because of whatever happened with his situation. At least that's what I'm told. So I didn't do all my research on that too.
No, I think what you're saying is, I think that is true, because I'm working on something and we're thinking about people who we can potentially put in it, and they said it was some name, and it was like, oh no, she can't do that because she's a series regular on this show that's on right now, so she can't pick up this pilot. I'm like,
correct.
Damn, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I learned this yesterday.
But it's things that we do as black people to where we have to be mindful that you're giving the opportunity. Each time we get an opportunity, we're either raising the bar or lowering the ceiling.
And they watching. They watching real close.
They looking. That's why even with Woman King, like, we have to support it. We have to go see it. I gotta hold myself accountable. I ain't seen it yet.
I ain't seen it
but
yet, but I sent people to see it.
But I sent people to see it, and I will see it.
Yeah.
I'm not out here boycotting like the rest. Don't get it confused.
Right.
But yes, it's important that we tell our own stories. But just because we didn't tell the story, don't mean we shouldn't support the black director.
Right.
Don't mean we shouldn't support the black actors.
I agree.
Like, because they need to see there's levels to it. It's still sometimes you have to win the battle you gotta win a battle in order to win the war. So the little battle is, this is a film with all black people, led by black women, directed by a black female director. Yeah. Go see it, support it. Maybe next time some black people will get together and actually make this film. But we need to show them that it's possible, because maybe black people aren't bonding together to make the film like so because they don't feel it would be successful. But now when you see that, you're like, oh,
we can do this.
We can do this. It doesn't only have to be like a girl's trip, or only have to be a think like a man, or only have to be Black Panther Marvel, well, that ain't even backed by black people, but it doesn't only have to be like a girl's trip or a Think Like a Man in order for it to be successful in the box office.
Right. So, and in all honesty, like, this is not really by, like, it's black people, but it's not really made by black people, but like, slave movies, like, we don't, that's not the only thing we could sell. Like, that's not the only thing we could depict is being slaves.
I agree.
And I when I was in high school, I did a documentary on Black women in Hollywood, and my main point was, at that point, 2014, everybody who had won an Oscar, a black female, had won for being a slave, being a mamie, being a help, basically. So I'm like, why? We can do other things. We, you know, and I'm like, that doesn't define who we are.
And not the mentality of the actors that won, but literally a mentality. It's an air amongst the industry, amongst Hollywood. And someone told me, someone who's my, like, I held in high regard. I still do. She told me that is the game. You have to play the game. Like, everybody who's won an Emmy, who's won an Oscar, has played a slave. Because I'm very adamant about, I'm not gonna ever play a slave. People are mad. I said on somebody's interview, I will spread eagle, but I will not play a slave. People were mad. To each his own.
Yeah, to each his own.
And watch how I get my Oscar without ever playing a slave.
Right.
So y'all saying it couldn't be done, but it's okay because I'm gonna do it.
Right. It could definitely
Hopefully
be done.
somebody do it before me. I will be glad, but if not, don't worry.
Yeah, like, I'm telling you, I was like, even if it wasn't a slave, because like Monique had one too, and I'm like, she didn't play a slave, but she played Precious Mama. Like, that wasn't no ideal character that she was playing that she won an Oscar for. And then Octavia Spencer in The Help. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn. And I'm like, Taraji didn't win Vicarious Curtis and Benjamin Button. Is it because she wasn't playing that role? And now looking back, like, that's definitely why. Like, even my all-time favorite movie is What's Love Got to Do With It. Angela Bassett. Like, she didn't win that. Like, she didn't win that because it was not what they want to see us at.
You know, Angela Bassett is someone who is so talented. And she's got the audience. Excuse me. It's like when Leonardo DiCaprio didn't win an Oscar until The Revenant. That's basically to me Angela Bassett. Like,
I agree.
You're great. Everyone knows you're great, and you haven't won yet. But that doesn't take away from you being great.
So great.
We all know
She's gold. She's that girl. Still is, and still has always been. And that's what I'm saying. Like, eventually we'll get to a time where, hopefully in my lifetime, to where it's like, it's a big deal when we are nominated, but the fact that it's like, even for Emmys, it's like, when we are nominated, it's like so rare, and it's like, we are having this big ass celebration about these 2 nominations because that's all we got this year, you know?
But you know, I think it is knowledge because we have, okay, so you have the Oscars, you have the Emmys. I mean, of course, you have so many other awards, but if we look at the Oscars and the Oscars, you have to be invited to the Film Academy to be a member. The Emmys, you can pay your dues, be an Emmy member, and vote. So Emmys is, to me, like voting is in political,
in the real world.
In the real world. And people just aren't aware. They don't know. Exactly. The knowledge isn't there, but I also, you know, there's so many, when it comes to us as Black people, there's so much knowledge out there that we just don't know. And these other non-Black people, they claim that they're there to help us, but they also don't share that knowledge. Snowfall did something that this is the first year that they've ever done it, that I thought was beautiful and I thought was progressive. They now are providing payment. They informed everybody, hey, submissions opened up to submit for Emmy membership. We will pay. If you want to be in the Television Academy, we will pay for your membership. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
For a network or a show to do that, and to even just inform you so you know, because if you are a Black person and you get nominated, and by the time you find out that you're nominated, submit a show submit you for a nomination. By the time you find out, the deadline has passed for you to join membership into the Television Academy. So you can't even pay to vote for yourself.
Right.
And you have to, with the Emmys, they submit you to be nominated. You can submit yourself, your network can submit you, whomever. So they submit you, and then there's a voting round for all the members. And after everybody votes, then those people, the top people from that, actually make the ballot and become nominees. And then there's another voting round for everybody, and the people who win out of that voting round actually receive an Emmy.
Yeah.
So there just aren't enough black members in the there are not enough black Television Academy members.
Right. And I feel like that as all around black people, there's so much that we just don't know.
We don't know the business. We don't know
the business. Yeah, we don't know the business at
We don't know the business.
Like, oh my God.
And not just of entertainment, but of business.
Of anything, of life. You know, it's like, oh my God. And like when you find out stuff, you're trying to tell everybody you can tell, but it's so many people you can tell. And then certain people who do know, it's like a crab in the bucket mentality that some people have, and it's like they know, but they're not telling us because they don't want everybody to get put on. But if we were just
some
stick
people
together,
don't even hang around after they know and they find out, and they're at that point where they have that knowledge. They're not even around people who don't know.
Exactly.
You're not even in the circle of people who wouldn't know.
Right.
So you need to go back to places where the knowledge is not there and share it. You ain't gotta hang around them all the time, but go and share the knowledge.
Yeah.
Like, go into places. I tell folks all the time, like, if you in the light, go into the darkness and shine the light.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta stay there. You don't gotta become the darkness, but go in the darkness and shine the light. What is it? What do you lose?
Because you only can gain from doing something like that. You can only gain from being.
Come on now,
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. You know that's you only gonna keep getting blessed.
Yeah.
If you're blessing other people,
but
that's the
you
way
put
of
more black members in the industry, then one day you're nominated or you're submitted.
Exactly.
And you got more black members to vote for you.
Exactly. Like, come on, it's a game, but it's like it's truthful. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know someone who would say, I think like give to the homeless, or they're their good deed of the day or good deed of the week, and they're like, sometimes I don't have it to do, but I'm still do it because eventually, like, it's gonna come back to me, and I just feel like that's just what I want to be as a whole, as a person. Like, I don't have much to give right now, but I'm gonna give back what I can give, and it's gonna come back. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna come back.
Yeah, I agree.
I was gonna ask you, because I talked about my favorite film. What's your all-time favorite?
Okay, so I mean, if we was to just put any movie on, I absolutely love Inception with Leonardo DiCaprio and Marion Cotillard. She's actually one of my favorites whose career I want to emulate.
Okay.
Her and Julianne Moore. They're great. So Inception is one of my favorite films. Crooklyn is one of my favorite films. The Grinch is one of my favorite films. So I gave you all my different genres of my favorite films.
What's your favorite movie with Taraji? Since that's your,
Oh, that's hard.
That is hard.
Oh.
Let me tell you, I know I was watching Baby Boy too young, but I was watching it. Look, I knew it word for word in 5th grade. Shouldn't have been watching it, but that's hard.
That's extremely difficult. I don't want to say Baby Boy because I feel like I always...
Don't say Baby Boy.
But it was so great, and it was so fresh and raw.
It was.
And when she got in that car and was like, "He don't love me no more."
I don't like that they be making TikToks talking about her, and I feel like I feel her.
I feel her. Like, she really felt that. She really felt. I felt like in that moment when she sat in that car and cried, it was all the pain and all the stuff she endured, all the stuff she forgave him for, all the time she took that nigga back, all the time she helped him. I felt it all just came crashing down on her, and it was like, and this nigga got the nerve to leave me.
And even when she stood at that door and he slammed the door in her face, she like jumped. I was like, damn, like that was a real reaction. Like, like niggas.
I'm gonna go with Hidden Figures.
Okay,
I'm gonna go with Hidden Figures because I didn't expect that from her. It was different. I got to see Taraji in a different light. She paid homage to people. I felt like it was a meaningful film. She held her own, and that had to be tough to do. not against other people, but against the gravity and the weight of the situation and the ugliness and the racism in a time like that. So I'm gonna have to say Hidden Figures.
I love her.
A lot of people say Acrimony, but I'm gonna have to say Hidden Figures.
I say Hidden Figures too. Acrimony was good, but that scene with she came in there wet from the rain,
yeah,
from walking to that bathroom, and she went off on him. I'm like, okay, Taraji acting right here. Like, baby girl not playing. I'm like, that was a really, really good movie. And I like to see like Janelle Monáe. Like, I feel like she's, even her in I can't think of the Moonlight.
Oh,
she was really good in Moonlight. So I'm like, I like to see her, and I like her, Janelle, and Octavia. I think that trio was a really good trio, and the chemistry was just beautiful. So I definitely could agree with Hidden Figures.
yeah,
Definitely.
that's my story. Final answer.
Baby boy number 2.
Okay. Baby boy number 2.
Okay, so what advice did you want to could you leave someone with, as far as, it doesn't even have to be entertainment related.
Mm-hmm.
It can be anything.
Breathe. And always remember that no situation is as big as it seems in the moment. Nothing is as big as it seems in the moment.
That is so true. I'm just literally thinking about shit that I thought was big, just that quick. I'm like, it really wasn't. It really is not that big. That's good. Breathe. I have a series I read by Ashley Antoinette. It's called Butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was ethics series turned into Butterfly, and she said it a lot. Breathe.
Yeah.
Because one of the main characters, she kind of suffers from anxiety, or she's very emotional, and then her husband's like, breathe.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree. Breathe. Y'all hear that? Breathe. It's okay. It's okay.
Breathing can help a lot. It's so many times that we don't even know that we're not breathing.
Mm-hmm.
So many times that we are holding our breath, holding in everything, trying to cripple ourselves, thinking that we're doing ourselves a service, when really we're doing ourselves a disservice. And you just breathe. It can just release so much tension. It can do so much. It can change your mood. It can help endorphins release to allow you to think clearer.
I agree. That's good. So,
yes,
that is it for episode 4. Thank you so. Let me tell you. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
I was like, let me see. And I'm like, dang, you miss 100% of the shots you don't shoot.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I really appreciate this. I'm the type of person where I feel like I always try to claim things as something for the future. So I'm like, we're gonna look back on this. We're gonna look back on this.
And it was just, there's a lot of times where because I am busy, and I'm busy because I've had some success, so everybody is asking for something. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times I just delete a lot of DMs. Like, I don't even open them, I'm not gonna lie. And then there's some I open and I'm like, yeah, not doing that. No. Or I'm like, it's gonna cost. Like, because I feel like I'm at this point in my life now where I just wanna work and I wanna be with my family. And if it ain't involved with that, then I typically don't want to do it.
Right.
Not doing it. So, and I feel like I've worked this hard to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And it was just favor. I was like, yeah, I want to do it.
I definitely agree. Favor.
I was like, yeah.
Right.
Something was just like, yeah, I'm doing it. And then, even with the car, it just all worked out. It all worked out.
Let me tell you, it really did. Because I'm going to tell you about that when we get off camera.
Okay.
It definitely did work out. And I just, so grateful, so appreciative. Like I said, we're going to look back on this when you Oscar nominated, Emmy nominated, both of us. And we're looking back on this, and
when we in our film together.
Yeah, when our film and TV show
together.
together.
Girl. Look how we manifested it.
Right. That's the goal. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoy episode 4. And have a good day, good weekend. And I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. Listen.